This is the home stretch, the last leg of the marathon.
Tonight, the state ramping up its plans to distribute vaccines to everyday Coloradans.
My wife and I are anxiously awaiting the opportunity.
Anyone 70 or older, next on the list to get a shot.
I was very excited.
But are healthcare providers and hospitals ready?
The prioritization shift was announced to us at the same time it was announced to the general public.
One county has its plan in place. Others say they're not ready to move forward in the process.
We can only move as fast as the immunization comes to us.
Our team of reporters making sure your questions get answered as we learn more about the COVID variant now popping up in another state. Colorado is officially moving into the next vaccination phase. Today, Governor Polis announced Coloradans 70 and older can get a shot. They joined frontline workers and certain first responders.
But the news came as a surprise for several healthcare organizations and county leaders who say they're still trying to get the first round of people vaccinated.
We also know there just are not enough doses in the state yet to get everyone 70 and older a vaccine immediately.
We know there are so many questions about how you can get a vaccine, where and when it'll be your turn.
Denver7 CB Cotton is talking with a county that has their vaccination plan in place. First, though, to Denver7's Liz Gilardi with what hospitals are doing and how you can get in line. Liz?
As the vaccine becomes available to additional groups, there's a massive effort to distribute it. Here at Centura Health, the number of vaccine clinics will soon double, and the goal is to roll it out in the most organized way possible.
As soon as the vaccine was in the process of being developed, I could hardly wait to receive it.
For Tim McHugh, that day will be coming sooner than he expected. The 74-year-old retired physician just learned he's part of the next group that will be receiving the vaccine after Governor Jared Polis announced any Coloradan age 70 and older is eligible.
Saving lives, ending the pandemic. We wanted to focus those initial doses on age 70 and up.
The response was almost immediate, with Denver7 viewers asking where they can get the vaccine for themselves or a loved one.
I really want them to know to not panic. You will get your opportunity to have a COVID-19 vaccine.
That's the message from Centura Health. Dr. Shauna Gully, the chief clinical officer, says their online portal will be the fastest and easiest way to schedule an appointment.
We are going through a really orderly approach. Most people will be offered the opportunity to schedule through their doctor's office.
Florida recently made national headlines when seniors started camping outside for the chance to get the vaccine on a first-come, first-served basis. Tim says he understands why.
I would have been there. Social distanced and masked, but camped out to get the vaccine.
You can expect distribution to look different across the state. Jefferson County public health officials issued a statement tonight saying they do not have unallocated vaccine at their Lakewood clinic. The team is continuing to prioritize healthcare workers and first responders, so it will not move further into this next phase. Public health officials say it's best to check with your primary care doctor or local health department.
I think the sooner we get rid of this whole change in our lifestyle, the sooner we're going to get back to somewhat normal behavior. But yeah, I'm enthusiastic and I'm excited that we're going to move up.
Liz Gilardi, Denver7.
Shortly after the state announced the expansion of its current vaccination distribution plan, Summit County told its residents 70 and older to go ahead, register for an appointment.
Well, the county says they're ready thanks to planning and extra doses of the vaccine. We continue our team coverage tonight with Denver7's CB Cotton.
Summit County public health officials say this week they received more doses of the Moderna vaccine than what they were expecting. So when Governor Jared Polis announced that Phase 1B would now include those 70 and up, they were ready. And those in that demographic say they're ready too.
We have not been able to, either vacation with family members, go visit family members.
2020 has kept Emily Tracy at home. The concerns of an ongoing pandemic made worse because of her own health problems.
Both my husband and I have underlying conditions, nothing serious, but asthma.
And her age demographic.
There's pretty sad stories out there, what's happened to a significant number of older people when they get this disease.
So Tracy has tried her best to avoid contracting COVID-19, and soon her efforts will be strengthened.
We'll be going on Saturday afternoon. We'll both get our first dose.
On Wednesday, Tracy was able to register both her and her husband for the COVID-19 vaccine. Just hours after Governor Jared Polis announced the state will start phase 1B, which will now allow those 70 and up to get a vaccine.
I think it's just an opportunity to, over time, feel a certain level of relief.
Summit County Public Health says they've given out about 2,000 doses of the vaccine in the last 2.5 weeks. This week, they received extra doses, and beginning Thursday, they'll have a total of 814 doses to hand out.
So it's not just 70 and older that will receive those 814, because we're continuing to also offer it to all those other prioritized groups that we've been vaccinating for the last 2 weeks.
Health officials estimate there are around 3,000 people in Summit County who are 70 and older, so it'll take more shipments to get a vaccine to everyone who wants one.
But we know that we're going to continue to get doses on a weekly basis, so we're really excited.
Summit County is using their own drive-through service.
People are just driving through. They don't have to exit their cars. We have staff that's able to be outside in a well-ventilated space.
And the county has partnered with City Market and Safeway pharmacies to get people scheduled for vaccine appointments that Tracy hopes will take her from spending most of her time at home back to her normal routines.
Maybe there are people in our age group that feel like they've lived their full life and they're ready to go, but we're nowhere near that.
CB Cotton, Denver 7.
All right, as we've been telling you, we are now in phase 1B, so those 70 and older can get a vaccine. Also included in this phase, EMS, firefighters, police, and correctional workers. And then once we get enough doses in our state, educators, grocery workers, postal workers, and those in government will be eligible as well. Now, teachers, you might recall, originally were included in phase 2. They have been moved up. Governor Polis hopes that once phase 1B is complete, we can reduce the number of deaths in our state by 80%. Now, it won't be enough to end the pandemic. Phase 1B is not expected to wrap up till spring. Phase 2, late summer or late spring, early summer. And that one will include Coloradans between 60 and 69 and those 16 to 59 who are high risk or have pre-existing conditions. Phase 3, then, that is the one that includes the rest of the general public. That likely won't begin until summer.
So far, more than 2 million doses of the vaccine have been administered in this country. But keep in mind, even if you get the vaccine, you can't just go back to normal life. You won't be immune until several weeks after getting the second dose. Case in point, a San Diego nurse received the first shot. 6 days later, he tested positive for the virus. So keep wearing a mask, social distancing, and wash your hands.
A troubling story tonight. A healthcare worker in Wisconsin's out of a job after 500 doses of the Moderna vaccine were intentionally taken out of refrigeration and ruined. The employee who worked at Advocate Aurora Healthcare, that is no relation to Aurora, Colorado, intentionally removed 57 vials of the vaccine from a refrigerator to get something else and never put them back.
Unbelievable. Now to the latest on that super contagious version of COVID found here in Colorado, the first reported case in the U.S. In addition to the one confirmed case we know of, there is another highly suspicious case of the variant also known as B117.
Today we learned both patients are members of the Colorado National Guard deployed to help staff at Good Samaritan Society Assisted Living Center in Simla. The confirmed case right now isolating at home in Arapahoe County, the other at a Lincoln County hotel. Neither has traveled internationally.
Right now, we are currently investigating 2 possibilities for how these individuals may have acquired their infections. We have deployed a team to the facility that was done yesterday to collect specimens from staff and residents in that facility.
State leaders are still working to contact trace to see if anyone else was exposed to the variant. Tests are being conducted at the assisted living facility in Simla. They're already dealing with an outbreak. All 26 residents have tested positive for COVID at some point. 4 have died. More than half of the facility's regular staff caught the virus too.
And this variant is not deadlier. It is just more transmissible, and it's not uncommon for viruses to mutate.
This new variant has also now made its way to California, although health leaders believe there could be hundreds, if not thousands, of cases of this new variant. Like the Colorado case, the 30-year-old San Diego man had no known history of travel. Dr. Anthony Fauci says other states will start identifying their own cases of the new strain.
And just in the last hour, Governor Polis asked the state health department to start moving counties in level red back to orange. He says the state has seen a sustained decline now for nearly 2 weeks.
There's patients everywhere because of this.
An unprecedented year.
It's a scary time to be a doctor.
A year so many are ready to put in the past.
Flames coming off of it, creating these fireworks.
Before we ring in 2021,
say her name!
A look at the major events of the year that will forever change our world.
More clouds rolling into Colorado for our New Year's Eve, but will we see snow? I'll have your forecast.